up, everybody? And happy 2025 New Year's Eve, as it's the last day of the year. We're getting ready to ring in 2026 tonight at midnight. So, hopefully, everybody has got their champagne, their blowhorn things, their hats, and everything you need to celebrate this year to 2026. But we're here today to celebrate on the channel. I'm going to give you my bold predictions for 2026, give away some awards. I'm going to give away some of my top moments, matches, and everything else in between. So let's get to the chat. Let's see how you guys are doing here today. Happy Wednesday. Anybody got any fun plans for the day? Let me know. What's up, Hassan? How you doing? Happy New Year's Eve. Happy New Year's Eve. What's up, Michelle? What's up, Erica? How we doing, guys? Hope you guys are all having a good one wherever you all may be. But I wanted to come here and, like I said, I wanted to give away some predictions, give away some awards, and just talk about 2025 in general because it has been one crazy year. It's been another good year here on the channel. We've continued to grow, and we're not going to stop anytime soon. But I just appreciate you all. But way we're going to start it, and one thing that I want to do, as I said, is give some bold predictions. So let's start with that. And I'm going to give you one bold prediction right now, not all of them all at the same time. We're just going to kind of go around and everything else like that. But my first bold prediction of 2026, I'm going to say that Dominic Mysterio is going to win the Money in the Bank. I know that may not be the craziest bold prediction, but for Dominic to win the Money in the Bank, him being the Intercontinental Champion, obviously he has been hurt as of recently, but I think by the time we get to Money in the Bank, I think Dominic will be better. I think that, he will probably have to vacate the IC title. We'll see where that goes with that. As we heard this past Monday on Raw, that Dominic has and will be out indefinitely. I think Dominic will become a babyface, and I think he could become one of the biggest baby faces in WWE with the right story and the right things that they could do with him. So that is why I'm going to say that Dominic Mysterio is going to win Money in the Bank 2026. Now, another bold prediction. I'll give you another one real quick. I will say that BDE, Chris Danger, or another YouTuber will show up on NXT. We've seen the likes of Chris Danger, BDE. We've seen a bunch of other guys come out from YouTube to go and be wrestlers. We've seen BDE recently on TNA, Bound for Glory. He's had matches on PW Revolver. He'll be facing Chris Danger in February for the title in a ladder match. I'm going to say one of those two, or somebody maybe we don't know about that just training, they are going to be in NXT. And it's not going to be we could very well see an iShow Speed, but in that case, I'm saying somebody like a Brandon, a Chris, somebody like that. I can't think of anybody else. Those are the top two off of my head. Hey, what's up, Greg? We got Greg in the house. I appreciate you coming and hanging out here. Happy New Year, Greg. Welcome to the channel. Good way to end off the year. Welcome to Tino's Time, my man. I appreciate you. Now, other things I want to do, too, is give you some of my favorite moments of the year. And we've had a lot of great moments, and we're not going to go in any particular order. But one moment that this year meant a lot to me, it was CM Punk finally winning the world title in the match that he won it against Gunther at SummerSlam. CM Punk was champion for all of 3 minutes until Seth Rollins cashed in and he stole the title in that moment away from CM Punk. But we did see CM Punk get the title back on Saturday night's main event, and now he's two-time champ. And, CM Punk has always been one of my favorites. He always will be one of my favorites. Second City Saint from Chicago, Illinois. That moment this year is just always going to be special to me, and I am so happy that CM Punk did that, and he is back as champion where he rightfully belongs. Another favorite moment of mine this year was when Jelly Roll competed at SummerSlam. I was very surprised that Jelly Roll did as well as Jelly Roll did. As you guys know, Triple H told Jelly Roll, if you lose the weight, if you do the work, if you put in all the hours, you could have a match. And that's exactly what Jelly Roll did. He kept his word. He did all the things that he had to do. And we saw him have a tag team match, team up with Randy Orton as they took on Drew McIntyre and Logan Paul. Well, Jelly Roll did not win the match, but he was very impressive in that match. And it was one of those things that I was very shocked to see how well he can move and how well he knew how to do certain things that maybe he may not have done. No. Shh. Why? Every time I go, guys. But So, Jelly Roll competing at SummerSlam, another great moment of mine for the year. We also have some awards to give away this year, or today. And the first one I want to give away is Promo Worker of the Year. And the nominees go as followed: Becky Lynch, Braun Breaker, CM Punk, Cody Rhodes, Kevin Owens, Gunther, LA Knight, and Seth Rollins. And the winner of that award is, let me give the drum roll. Where's the drum roll? Where's the drum roll? And the winner is, I'm going to go with Gunther. I think what Gunther has done this year, I think that Gunther, the stuff that he now has to do with what John Cena and being the person that retired John Cena, I think that Gunther's promos are only going to get better. He's going to be one of the biggest heels in the WWE, and I cannot wait just to see everything that where it goes and everything else like that. So for promo of the year, we're going to give it to our man, the Ring General, Gunther. Let's go and let's do another award, and let's do debut of the year. We have Penta making his debut on Raw, Joe Hendry at the Royal Rumble, Ricky Saints on NXT, El Grande Americano, Ray Phoenix on SmackDown, JC Mateo, Blake Monroe, or Tala Tonga. And for me, the debut of the year has to be Ricky Saints. When Ricky Saints showed up in NXT, you guys know he just recently got released from AEW. His contract expired and everything else like that. And that was somebody I don't think I expected, and I don't think any of us really expected to see show up on NXT. We didn't know what his name was going to be until he signed that contract, but I kind of have grown to like the Ricky Saints name, and him being from New Orleans and everything else like that still feels surreal that he's in NXT. And NXT Night Shift, Too Sweet Kyle and J Gold were talking about it. He might be the guy that holds it down for NXT after they call up all these superstars, with SmackDown officially going to 3 hours on Friday. Now, let's continue what we've been doing, and let's go back to some bold predictions. And another one I got for you is Oba Femi is going to main event a PLE pay-per-view premium live event. I don't know which one it's going to be, but I guarantee you by the year's end, 2026, Oba Femi will have had at least one main event on a show. Might not be the SummerSlams of the world, the WrestleManias of the world, but I'm telling you, the ruler is going to rule the PLEs of 2026. Another bold prediction, and this one might come very soon. It is Chris Jericho, Y2J. He's making his return to the WWE, and it could very well happen at this upcoming week episode of Raw, as they are going to be collabing with Stranger Things, and it's going to be Raw is Strange or something like that. So let me know what you guys think, but Chris Jericho is going to come back in 2026 to the WWE, and I'll say he has a couple matches or two. More favorite moments of mine that we had: John Cena becoming a Grand Slam champion. This one just recently happened. You guys know how big of a John Cena fan I am, and this was the last thing he needed to accomplish in his career to pretty much have all the titles and everything else. And it was honestly the only thing he really didn't accomplish was winning that Intercontinental Championship. He didn't have it for too long, but he did defeat Dominic Mysterio on that Raw, and he did become champion, and it was a good old time. John Cena did all the things. He retired, and, it will be interesting to not have 2026 without the GOAT. But always have. 2025 when he became a Grand Slam champion. Another great moment, and this was one we just mentioned, was Ricky Saints showing up on NXT. I've always liked Ricky Saints, Ricky Starks. I liked him in AEW. I liked all the things that he was doing. And I think ever since he got to NXT, I think he's only continued to grow. And I think that, as I said, he's going to be the top guy in NXT. He's going to be, my bold prediction, 11 wins from Stephanie Valkyrie. I kind of like that. That's a good one. Ricky Saints, though, I think that is going to be one of the top stars in NXT throughout the whole year. I think he very well could be the one to take the title off of Oba once he officially goes to the main roster, wherever that may be. I don't know, but we'll see how it plays out. But Ricky Saints making his way to WWE was one cool moment in WWE this year for me. Now, let's get to some more bold predictions. Sol Ruca, we see her. It's Sol Ruca. She'll be getting called up very soon. I'm going to say Sol Ruca is going to be a women's world champion. I don't know if she's going to defeat Stephanie. Maybe she'll defeat a champion that isn't a champion right now. But I'm going to say they shooting Sol Ruca to the moon. And by the end of the year, by this time next year, Sol Ruca will have at least been a champion in WWE Raw or SmackDown for at least a day, I'll say. I don't know which title it will be, but I'll say she holds it down. More awards. Let's get back to some awards. We'll wait to give you my last bold prediction and our last favorite moment, or last two favorite moments, I should say, for the end. So let's do some more awards. We got any comments on the chat? What do we got here? What was there? Eric's favorite moment was Hangman winning the world title. So I'm not going to really do too many AEW stars on this just because we really don't cover AEW too much anymore. But yeah, if you got any AEW moments, let me know. I mean, for me, I can't really think of one. Recently, I would say MJF winning the title just because MJF hasn't had the title in such a long time. Or even Edge and Christian, Adam Copeland, Cope, however you want to refer to him as I think them getting and them having that moment back is, really cool. But like I said, I really just didn't have too much of the AEW, yeah. We'll skip that one. Commentator of the year. We have Michael Cole, Joe Tessitore, Corey Graves, Wade Barrett, Pat McAfee, Booker T, or Vic Joseph. And the winner is, for me at least, in my opinion, again, these are my awards. You guys might have your own opinions, but for me, the winner of the commentator of the year has to go to, drumroll please, Shucky Ducky Quack Quack. It's Mr. Booker T. Oh yeah, man. Come on, man. Do you guys think, listen, we could be easy and give the award to Michael Cole, but that's just an easy one. Booker T is entertaining. He entertains us every week. He's got great catchphrases. He does all the things. It is Booker T. Tag team of the year. We got AJ Lee, the team of AJ Styles and Dragon Lee. American Made, the Creed Brothers. The Vision, Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss. DIY, Fraxium. The Kabuki Warriors. Los Garza, Mellow Dome Miz. Motor City Machine Guns. The New Day. Pretty Deadly. The Secret Service. The War Raiders. The Wyatt Six, or the Street Profits. There are a lot of tag teams on here. But the winners for me in 2026, it has to be the team of Team Bestie, Miss Alexa Bliss, and Charlotte Flair. You guys all know how I feel about Miss Charlotte Flair and everything that she's done since winning all the titles that she has since she's been in the WWE. But she's brought back my love for Charlotte Flair, being with Alexa Bliss in the tag division, and them kind of bringing the tag division back to the WWE to where I think that they wanted it to be, and it just never truly got there. But as of late, with the Kabuki Warriors, Io and Rhea, Charlotte and Alexa, Lyra and Bayley, and more, Lash and Nia, tag team women's wrestling is coming on the up. But for me, tag team of the year, it's got to go to those two. Faction of the year. American Made, Dark State, The Judgment Day, the MFTs, The Vision, or the Wyatt Six. I feel like this one is very difficult because, yes, there is a reason for all of them, but there's also a reason for not all of them. But I just think that, in my opinion, winners are the Vision, I guess, because the Vision has made the most noise, I guess, because the Wyatt Six haven't really done anything. American Made haven't done anything. The MFTs haven't really done anything. I don't know. It just has not been a faction type of a year in the WWE. So for me, that is why I'm just going to say the Vision, because they have made the of the most of the moment. We have a lot of returns of the year. We go all the way back to the Royal Rumble. We had Charlotte Flair, Alexa Bliss, AJ Styles, Nikki Bella. We saw Randy Orton return at the Chamber. Jade Cargill returned at the Chamber. Becky Lynch at WrestleMania 41. Rusev on Raw. Aleister Black on SmackDown. The Wyatt Six on SmackDown. Bronson Reed making his return. R-Truth, Ron Killings. Asuka. Goldberg. Brock Lesnar. AJ Lee. Zack Ryder. Dragunov. Or Dolph Ziggler. Guys, we don't even have to have a drum roll. You already know what the moment of the year is. It was in Chicago, Illinois, the last SmackDown for Mr. Hustle, Loyalty, Respect. We lit it up because for the first time in 10 years, Miss AJ Lee returned to the WWE, and she had her husband's back, and she beat the shit out of Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins. I was there live. It was a moment I'll never forget. And for me, moment of the year. And that is, I guess that kind of leads into, as I was saying earlier, my favorite moment of the year, that is AJ Lee's return. But I do also want a moment, and I want to take a second to say John Cena's heel turn. Because if you take away what happened after, we don't look at what happened after he turned heel. If you look at what specifically happened at that night in Toronto, our mouths were dropped. We had no idea what the hell was going to go on. And for 24 hours or 48 hours until he came out in Brussels and said that random promo, we had no idea what that was going to be. And John Cena's heel turn was the biggest moment at that time, in that moment in WWE ever, as maybe before Hulk Hogan, when Hulk Hogan did it. But again, it just depends on your generation and everything else like that. So John Cena's heel turn and AJ Lee's return are my two favorite moments of the year. And I don't think anybody else can say that those aren't theirs. Most shocking, well, we ain't gonna do that one. Disappointment of the year. Ads every year. Chad Gable getting injured. Kevin Owens getting injured. Liv getting injured. Sheamus getting injured. Everybody getting injured. Disappointment of the year. Honestly, you can't say John Cena's heel run or heel turn, because the heel turn was good. I'm going to say the biggest disappointment of the year has to be either John Cena versus Brock Lesnar at WrestlePalooza, or when they did not follow up on the R-Truth Ron Killing storyline that they decided to do, and then not do anything else and not follow through with that for that. So that is what I'm going to say for me, for the biggest disappointment of the year. There's a lot of good ones. WWE ticket prices. Yes, that one's another one. I mean, they're just outrageous. I can't do it. Elimination Chamber might be the last show I go to for a long time. Storyline of the year. John Cena's retirement tour. The rise of the Vision. Dominic is double champion. Seth Rollins continues to try to screw CM Punk. Becky versus Lyra, or Becky versus corporate. The rise and fall of Jey Uso. I'm going to say that the storyline of the year obviously has to be John Cena's retirement tour, right? I mean, I think that would only make sense. Feud of the year. We got Becky Lynch and Lyra. Seth and Punk. Jay and Gunther. Cody and Cena. Naomi and Jade. Solo and Jacob are every available tag team feuding with each other. I'm going to say that the feud of the year has to go to John Cena, Cody Rhodes, because yes, their WrestleMania match wasn't the greatest, but they made up for it in that SummerSlam match, and that SummerSlam match was phenomenal. So I'm going to say John Cena and Cody Rhodes is your feud of the year. What was John Cena's match of the year? Probably SummerSlam. Most improved wrestler of the year. I'm going to go Maxine Dupree. That's an easy one for me. I think Maxine Dupree has become the over and above what we expected from her. And I love Maxine Dupree. So I'm going to say that for that. Who is the most underrated wrestler of 2025? Bo Dallas, Carmelo Hayes, Chad Gable, Chelsea Green, Grayson Waller, Julia, Jimmy, JD, Ludwig, Lyra, Meacham, Solo, Zelina, and Woods. I got to go with the one and the only Carmelo Hayes, our new United States champion. Another favorite moment of mine this year. Can't leave that one out. Mr. Carmelo Hayes recently winning the U.S. title. Hell yeah, I'm so excited for him. And I cannot wait to see what happens in 2026. NXT Superstar of the Year. We saw who won this, or NXT Wrestler of the Year. So I guess this would include both women and male. But we saw who won on Tuesday. So Ruka and Javon Evans. So I really can't fight with them on that because that is exactly. But on honorable mentions, we got to give to Miss Blake Monroe. We got to give some love to JC Jane because JC Jane did her thing. We can't forget that Stephanie Valkyrie was a 2-belt champ in NXT. Tatum Paxley did win the championship. So NXT had one hell of a year, and NXT Night Shift talked about it. They're going to have another great year in 2026. Female Wrestler of the Year. Becky Lynch, Julia, Io Sky, Jay Cargill, Liv Morgan, Lyra, Naomi, Rhea, Roxanne, Stephanie, or Tiffany. I think it's got to go to Stephanie. I would say Tiffany because Tiffany had won a hell of a year too because she went on a crazy run where she only lost like one match out of like 20, I think it was, or something like that. I think she went like 18-1 or something. So Ruka, or I'm sorry, not Ruka. Tiffany Stratton is number 2, but Stephanie Valkyrie winning 2 belts in NXT, being the world champion in WWE. She's got that rocket shot in her back, and she's ready to take it all the way to the top. So, Stephanie Valkyrie, woman wrestler of the year. Now, the male superstar of the year, the last award, and then we got, that's the last one. So, the last award that we're going to give out for the day is the male superstar of the year. And we have Bron Breakker, CM Punk, Cody Rhodes, Dominic Mysterio, Gunther, Jey Uso, John Cena, Kevin Owens, L.A. Knight, Sami Zayn, Seth Rollins, or Oba Femi. I mean, I got to go with the QB1, right? He's been the champ. He's been there at every PLE. John Cena also did compete on or actually, John Cena is the only person to compete on every single PLE in 2025. So, I guess you could say John Cena, but I'll give it to QB1 champion. He's been doing his thing, holding it down, Make-A-Wishes, and all of the things. Cody Rhodes, we'll say, is your male superstar of the year. Let's see what we got in the comment section. Let's see if we have any more stuff that you guys got. Hey, Tina, you went to AEW World's End. How was it? Alex, let me know. Well, I'm going to cover and create AEW pay-per-view. Wait, Hassan, what are you doing? My bold prediction is Zarya stays in NXT and beats JC. I like that. See, I don't think that Ruka is supposedly being called up, but I don't think that they should really necessarily rush Zarya either. We've seen Zarya come in NXT. I think that she has a lot of things that she can do and a lot of things that she could still accomplish. And as much as I would have loved to see Ruka win the title, I just think that her star power is so much bigger that she could just be a complete mainstay on the main roster. So honestly, Eric, I would not be shocked to see Zarya win a world title in 2026. My other bold prediction, and this one's just for me here, we're going to hit 10,000 subscribers. Yes, sir. Bold prediction. Year's end, 10K. Let's do it. Also, I think this might be the biggest bold prediction, and this is why I wanted to save it for last. It's 4 years overdue, It should have happened a long time ago. But with the way things have been happening as of late, and we've been seeing a lot of title change happen, I'm going to say the megastar, Mr. L.A. Knight, yeah, finally wins the World Heavyweight Championship or the WWE Championship. I don't know if it will be like a Jey Uso type of a run, might even be a day run, but L.A. Knight going to hold that world title in something at WWE this year. Hey, what's up, noob? How we doing? Hey, Happy New Year. My bold prediction is Io Sky and Asuka at WrestleMania 42. I like it. I think one match that I hope we do see at WrestleMania 42 is Gunther and Brock Lesnar. I think that that's a match that we've wanted to see for a couple of years now, and I think that it was one that they were gonna have and they were gonna do, but then we obviously know what happened and everything else like that, and things just did not align. But Brock is back. Gunther's back, and yeah, it might be weird to see Brock as a babyface, but I don't think you're going to be able to take anything away from Gunther right now, as Gunther's going to be the biggest heel in all of the WWE. So I'm going to say that is another match we'll see at WWE. Also, I'm going to say that for SummerSlam, that's right, because it is in Minnesota. That's right. See, you're right. That actually might be a good idea because Brock is from Minnesota and he does want to have his retirement in his hometown. You're right. So take back what I say. I agree with Too Sweet Kyle. Too Sweet Kyle, I hope you have a great New Year's. Hope you have a good day today, bro. Appreciate you. And 2026, you're going to be making even bigger. But guys, that's all I got here for you. I got 6 bold predictions, 6 favorite moments. We gave away a bunch of rewards. We got 8 hours left 2025. It's been one crazy year. And as I said, we 4 years ago at this time only had 100 subscribers on the channel. And now we're closing in little by little to 4,000. And as I just said, bold prediction, let's hit 10,000 by a year's end next year. And let's try to make 2026 the biggest year here on the channel yet. And then we'll just continue to go on from there. But guys, I appreciate you all. Make sure you go follow all the social medias to keep up with us in 2026. Go and check out the OTM guys. They just hit 500 subscribers. Main Event Network, we just hit 250 subscribers. We're now officially on the road to 300. So if you have not yet, go do so. Hit the Main Event Network, hit the OTM, hit Tino's Time. Go subscribe to everybody that is a part of the network because 2026, as I said, is going to be even bigger. Guys, hit that like button here. Turn that notification button on. Hit that subscribe button as we're on the road to 4K. Stay safe out there. Don't do anything stupid. Don't get too drunk. And I'll see you guys all tomorrow for what's tomorrow? Thursday? Or no, I guess I won't see you tomorrow. I will see you for our first episode of 2026, which will be Friday Night SmackDown. And it's also the first 3-hour SmackDown back on the USA Network. Guys, enjoy your New Year's, and I'll see you all in 2026.